Now, even if Asim Trivedi, who is the name of the cartoonist, does not deserve, the case of sedition, is he, by the act of doing what he has done, is he a hero either? That's the question tonight. The broader question on the Newshour, as I welcome the panel, is: does the crude representation of national symbols amount to a person's right under freedom of expression? With me in the studio is Mayank Gandhi, core committee member of the India Against Corruption. Erstwhile India Against Corruption?
Erstwhile core committee.
Erstwhile core committee member, but member of India Against Corruption. Thanks for the clarification. From our studios in Berlin tonight, on the top left of your screen is Sudhir Telang. I am so privileged to have Sudhir Dar, India's legendary cartoonist, with us after a long time. Kamal Farooqi, member of the Samajwadi Party. Vikas Singh, additional solicitor general. Mahesh Jethmalani, and senior advocate. And Kiran Bedi. Kiran Bedi, my first question is to you, Ms. Bedi. Have you seen these cartoons? You know, they are in bad taste. They lack subtlety in humor. Yeah, they obviously question, display badly, and almost desecrate national symbols like the Constitution of India. You support what has happened? You support this form of art?
You asked me a question of, have I seen these cartoons?
Yes.
I haven't. I have not seen them.
Now, if I were to tell you, Ms. Bedi, that at least one of these cartoons, if not two, represents most crudely a desecration of, say, the Constitution of India, what would you say? Would you say that's all right?
No, I wouldn't. I won't say that. But before coming to your show, I spoke to certain serving police officers who have access to what is going on. And they told me, and when I asked them, how did you register these FIRs, which includes all these sections of law? They said there were two complaints. One going straight to one was coming via the courts, and the other which was a complaint received by the police station. One has been directed by the court, which is the chief judicial magistrate, whichever. And the second is that they based, it's whatever they added as sections of law, they took legal opinion. So I asked them, what happened on the sedition clause? They said it was legally advised. I'm not taking any sides. I've not seen any cartoons. But I was very curious to know what happened. As a cop, how did it all begin? So they said it's begun by this complaint, and then legal opinions were taken, and the matter is still not closed, which means that the sedition clause, if the investigation establishes, again by legal opinion, that sedition is not, they will drop this because it's a matter of still under investigation.
Ms. Bedi.
So I've not seen the cartoons, but I try to make my own inquiry.
Ms. Bedi, some have seen the, Sudhir Telang, you've seen the cartoon? You've heard of the cartoon? What is there?
No, I haven't seen the cartoons.
You have?
No, I have not seen. I've only seen one cartoon of the done by Asim Trivedi, and this cartoon was about the national emblem, the Sarnath lions, which he has turned into 3 wolves with blood-stained claws.
Tell them all the 3.
But apart from that, I have not seen the other cartoons.
Now,
I've spoken to some channels during the day without seeing the cartoons, and I've spoken in favor of the cartoonist. But Arnab, you actually explained to me some of the cartoons which sound very, very crude actually.
Mr. Telang, the point I'm making to you is, let us not go into details of what the cartoon is. All I can say is that in one cartoon there is Ajmal Kasab, and there is the Constitution of India. And I don't even want to describe the despicable manner in which the Constitution of India has been desecrated. Is that a cartoonist's right?
All right. No. Arnab, the way you explain these cartoons to me, I'm actually, I have a different opinion now, because during the morning I had not seen the cartoons and I had not even been explained the cartoons. I think these are plain, crude cartoons. There's no imagination used in these cartoons. There is no creativity used in these cartoons. Cartooning is a very subtle art form. In cartooning, we never say things literally in a crude way. We say things in a very succinct manner, but at the same time, we have in a very creative way. It's an indirect way of attack. So what I would like to say is that I think this cartoonist is trying to attract attention and suffers from Danny Boyle syndrome. This shit and piss syndrome, because in couple of cartoons he has drawn shit and piss. And I think he's trying to attract attention, but you know, political cartoonists cannot behave like Poonam Pandey or Rakhi Sawant, with no offense to Poonam Pandey and Rakhi Sawant and no disrespect to them.
Well,
you cannot behave like Poonam Pandey. I can tell you that Poonam Pandey and Rakhi Sawant have replaced us from the front page of the newspapers, but we cannot afford to replace them in this way.
Mahesh Jethmalani, you really have an argument just because it is horribly convenient for you to target the government for this. I mean, would you as a responsible citizen, leave alone a lawyer, allow this kind of desecration of our national symbols that has happened in these cartoons?
Well, you know, if you load the terms like that, you're getting a little personal, Anna, but I respectfully disagree with you. I am for complete artistic expression. I am for complete freedom of expression on the part of the cartoonist. You may say that they are crude expressions on his part. I would not publish them myself if I were a cartoonist, but I uphold his right to do it. This is according to me, this is the outpouring of a young man incensed by corruption and incensed by what our institutions have been reduced to, and therefore he has depicted it most graphically by his cartoons. I must enter a caveat. I don't understand what he was trying to say by the Kasab and the Constitution cartoon. I don't know what he was trying to say. We give all terrorists, including the most heinous terrorists, due process as contemplated by our Constitution, and that's all that Kasab has been offered. So the last cartoon I can't understand. The other three I can understand as a grave outpouring of his ire, his anger.
Well, I'd like to get in Sudhir Dar into this. I don't know, Mr. Dar, if you've seen the cartoon or had the opportunity to...
I have, Anna.
Tell me, Mr. Sudhir Dar, without going into details of what the cartoon or what you think about it, and the fact that this particular gentleman who is being made into some champion of free speech.
Arnab, this is a magnificent art form where we've enjoyed years and years of total freedom or extraordinary freedom. But you know, my generation lived through a golden age of cartooning. But you know, we never hit below the belt. We've all had our own Lakshman Rekhas. And we've always been very careful not to denigrate, not to demolish institutions of democracy. And I think what this young man, I think that he's a very talented young cartoonist, and I think he has a future, but he shouldn't burn himself out with anger. Because, you know, you have to keep that anger under control. You have to be a critic, not a cynic. There's a very thin line that separates criticism from cynicism. And if you become a cynic, you burn yourself out. I think, you know, what he has done, unfortunately, is that he has jumped into the deep end of the pool. He still has to learn to swim. I mean, he'll be a good swimmer one day. But my advice to him is, don't burn yourself out.
But it's a very good advice. Because there are enough
issues in this country.
Yes.
There are enough issues in this country which inflame us. But you know, if you're going to be, you know, you could be like a shooting star. You just come on into space, and you burn yourself out.
I see a hand go up there as you make your argument, Mr.
So take it easy.
I see a hand go up, and as that hand goes up, that hand is of Mahesh Jethmalani. Quick rebut from you, because I'm going to on Newshour tonight, right after your response, show these cartoons, the backside of these cartoons to the gentleman sitting here, Mayank Gandhi, and I want to hear his response. Yes, Mahesh Jethmalani, you want to rebut Sudhir?
Can I have one more word? Can I have one more word?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
You know, they say you can judge the freedom in a country by the freedom a cartoonist enjoys. We've enjoyed enormous freedom, but with it you know, there has to be a sense of responsibility. You don't burn the house down.
Exactly. Yes, Mahesh Jethmalani briefly. Mahesh Jethmalani briefly. He's rebutting you. Coming to you, Mr. Kamal Farooqi, right on the other side after Mr. Jethmalani. Yes.
Very quickly, Arnav, I don't think that Asim Trivedi was desecrating any of our national emblems. What he was trying to say is those who man these institutions have desecrated and reduced them.
You criticize those individuals then.
Depicted. That's all.
But then you criticize those individuals.
Yes, he is. But that's a cartoonist depiction. He's saying it's been reduced by them. It's all implied.
I am restricted
You've got to see his cartoons in the contemporary context. You can't isolate it, and just because it's somebody says something about the Constitution, or depicts something about the Constitution, you have to go into the mind of the cartoonist.
Mr. Jethmalani, I would like to respectfully remind you that this channel has stood out there and defended the cartoonist in the Mamata Banerjee case. That was a criticism of an individual and her policies. This, however, is in such bad taste that I am only held back by decency not to describe what is in this cartoon. I will describe this to you later in case you haven't seen it already. Kamal Farooqi wanted to rebut. Sudhir Dar, before I come back to you. Kamal Farooqi, please. Kamal Farooqi wants to respond to you. Yes, Kamal Farooqi.
Yes, Arnab, it's very refreshing. It's very refreshing to listen to both Sudhirs. We have great regard and respect for Sudhir Dar and Sudhir Telang. And I'm very happy that they have said something very sensible to the cartoonist. In fact, whatever in all the three cartoons which I have seen, it's very, very depressing, and it's really, he has crossed all the Lakshman Rekha, and the kind of disrespect he has shown to the Constitution, the kind of disrespect he has shown to Mother India. But the way he has shown it, and even to the Parliament, I tell you, it is very, very disturbing. What Mr. Jethmalani is saying, he should remember what these people have already said about one of the cartoonists. He has said, and of course, our great artist, I have even condemned that he has got no right to hurt the feeling of the Hindu masses, wherein the picture was shown in a very disrespectful manner. At that particular time, they were the people who were opposing that gentleman, and he had to leave the country. So these are the double standards. Under no circumstances, the fine profession of the cartoonist should be desecrated.
So you are accusing Mahesh Jethmalani. You are accusing Mahesh Jethmalani of hypocrisy. You are accusing Mahesh Jethmalani of convenient hypocrisy.
That is what I am doing.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
What have I done?
Yes.
What have I done to deserve that epithet? Please let me understand.
Well, he was referring to the MF Hussain case, I'm sure.
By all these subtle innuendos which you and Mr. Farooqi have collusively hurled against me, please tell me, what have I done to deserve that epithet of hypocrite?